I think that I'm speaking for the Divine Feminine Collective, and I want to keep this message as short as possible if I can. So, the wages of sin, okay, is death. Is death. And there's a lot of divine masculines I'm feeling right now that, especially the ones that are separated from the divine feminines, who have been doing the wrong thing for years. A lot of you divine masculines are in big trouble. And I don't know if I'm speaking for the collective or what, but there's a lot of divine feminines who are enraged. I'm even gonna declare right now in this video, there's a lot of divine feminines that have just found things out that have happened years ago. There's gonna be a lot of divine feminines who are gonna be getting downloads from not only their spirit guides and their guardian angels, but from physical 3D, other people, other situations. There's a lot of divine feminines out here that have been in the dark for a very long time, and there's a lot of divine feminines who are not coming back. You know, there's a lot of divine feminines who are never going to go back, never, ever going to go back. And their spirit team, their ancestors, their guides are going to make sure that because of the betrayal, the lies, and the disrespect. So God has literally brought me on this video to tell some divine masculines that the wages of sin is death. When you commit certain crimes, when you commit certain sin, when you live a certain kind of lifestyle, it's going to catch up to you. So there's a lot of divine masculines who have abandoned their divine partner, have done a lot of really grimy, messed up things, and it's gonna catch up to them. You know, it's catching up to a lot of them right now. And that's why I don't think there's been a heavy need for a lot of other types of readings and videos and all that, because the masculine is getting their karma now. So there's really no update, you know, for that section of you know, divine masculines and feminines. There really is no update. The feminine is just not in the masculine's life. The feminine is just building their own empire, living their own life, their best life, you know, staying on guard, staying alert, you know, blocking out any low vibrational energy, and, you know, doing what they got to do. And the download that I received is it's the exact opposite for the masculines. The masculines are downgrading. The masculines are declining. The masculines are on the edge of the abyss, basically, because they've been abusive, they've lied, they've cheated, they've stolen money from some divine feminines. I was getting a download about that. They've stolen money from even karmics they've been with. They've been leeching off karmics. There's been a lot of dark stuff. And so the download alert that I got is that, you know, God is just ready to unleash on these masculines. And for some masculines, it will be the wage of sin will be death. Either through their own doing, which means they've, you know, hooked up with the wrong people, now they're sick, or they're in, you know, the wrong circles, doing the wrong things illegally, or it could even be worse than that. You know, they've tried to hurt the feminine, and so in response, their magic, their evil eye, their nasty energy they've been trying to put on the feminine, wanting the feminine to fail, or the people they've been messing with, the people that the masculines are messing with, the people that the masculine has been involved with, they've told too much information and they've tried to hurt the feminine. There's a lot of feminines where you've been psychically attacked. You've been attacked from people that your masculine has hooked up with, because these outside energies are jealous, are very jealous of your connection with your masculine. Okay, one second, you all. Gotta put on the AC. It's not just that, you know, it's not just that download that I got. The other download I was getting this morning is that there was a trust broken. There was deep pain that the masculine has inflicted on the feminine that God is not happy with, okay? It was not the masculine's job to either break their feminine's heart, betray their trust, lie, connive, all types of crazy stuff. There's even some masculines I'm picking up on where they've had kids they've had kids with other people, and you know, God did not co-sign that. That baby that baby was that wasn't what was supposed to happen, or will happen. And in result, you will see the situation for those feminines who can relate to that message. You're gonna see how bad things get for your masculine with whoever they've had a child with. If they have, you're gonna see how hard things are financially for that masculine. You're gonna be shocked. You're gonna be shocked. So it looks like the chickens have come home to roost. It looks to me spiritually that a lot of masculines are in very hot water, and a lot of them are too far gone. You know, a lot of them are too far gone to the point where they can't come back. They're too ashamed. You know, there was, I feel, a season where God was giving the masculines an opportunity to own up, to come back home, to right their wrongs. But that is closed, okay? That portal, that opening, that season is over, okay? And a lot of feminines know this, okay? And what's going to happen is that they are not only too ashamed to step forward, but they're not even going to be able to, because spiritually, the feminine is protected. The divine feminine is always protected. So there's going to be a reckoning. There's going to be a realization from the masculine's point of view, where they're going to begin to realize that the feminine, there's going to be a reckoning with the masculine where certain masculines, where they're going to begin to realize that they can no longer, attack the feminine or have people attack the feminine on their behalf or be jealous. You know, there's a lot of jealous energy, just in general, you know, around the feminine. But what people are going to realize that the feminine is protected, okay? From all sides, the masculine's parents, the masculine's hookups, if there's a child involved with the you know, a third party, like, what everyone's gonna realize is that the feminine cannot be kept down, and that the feminine is not going to give up just because the masculine has jumped ship or has betrayed the feminine. You know, they're going to realize that this is actually what's going to spark the fire with the feminine to be even stronger and to be even more beautiful or even more handsome if it's a man. And it's going to be like a phoenix, you know, a rising phoenix from the ashes. And at that point, the masculine is going to begin to cower down and be afraid, because they know that, you know, karma is coming. They know that there's going to be, debt to pay. There's going to be hell to pay. And they're going to start to freak out. And before it's too late, they're going to think about apologizing to the feminine, but they're going to realize energetically that the feminine is so protected and so healed and so focused that they're not even going to get an opportunity to come back in and try to make amends. So there is going to be, I feel, a subsection of masculines who could even pass away. And what I'm getting is that they deserve it. You know, what I'm actually hearing is that there is a subsection of masculines who are going to deserve this, because they have inflicted this pain, this horror on themselves. They have run around and hurt not only the feminine, but other people. They have stolen money. They have broken hearts. They have abandoned, if they have kids, they've abandoned their own kids, whether it's from the feminine or not. They have abandoned their kids. And what's going to happen, it could be a mysterious illness. It could be a stroke. It could be a car accident. This is what I'm getting, you all. So for those who have already You know, you've been hearing some things, you've been getting some alerts from spirit about your masculine and what they're up to. Don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if you hear through the grapevine that, oh, your masculine has HIV, or your masculine is out of a job for years and is now cursed, you know, with financial blocks because of what they did to you or other people. The truth is going to come out. The truth is gonna come out, okay? And I don't know why this download has arrived to me at this moment in time, at this time of day, you know, today. But I felt like spreading this message to those who need it, as a confirmation message. And there's a lot of feminines who've been getting downloads about, you know, their masculines being sick or even worse. And I am seeing that because what they're saying is that they have inflicted it on themselves. They have put constant negative energy out in the universe, and to especially the feminine, like especially when the masculine denies the existence and the validity and the respect of their own feminine, they will fall. That is a fact. And what I'm seeing is that that's what it's going to come down to, is health issues, tragedies, because for some of these masculines, because they don't want to do the right thing, not by themselves, not by you, not by anybody. So what I heard specifically is the wages of sin is death. It can be death sometimes. So I really hope that for those masculines who feel energetically that they cannot come back, they cannot get through to the feminine, whether it's dreams, telepathically, you know, even sending their own astral body to their feminines, because I'm seeing a lot of energy here with the dream state at night. There could be a lot of feminines right now where there could be a lot of feminines right now where you're feeling things at night and you feel like there's, you know, something maybe watching you, or maybe you've got to download that your masculine is watching you, you know, because they have regret. You know, maybe they didn't regret it last year or the year before or the month before, but now they are in an energy of being afraid. There's a lot of masculines who are terrified, you know, deeply terrified, because they realize that, oh my God, you know, I have did something very horrible here, very bad here. And especially for those masculines who've gotten other people pregnant and it was not made out of love. That child was not made out of love, and you have abandoned the mother of that baby that is not your feminine. You will pay for that, okay? You cannot, whether you are still in love with your feminine or not, you laid down and created a child. You made that baby. And that is your responsibility as well as a mother of that child. And so whoever that is I'm speaking to, you know who you are. You laid down and had that child. That child did not come into being by itself. It was created. It was created. And what I'm even getting a download about is there's some masculines who had babies to spite their feminine. They got married or had babies or had a wild lifestyle to spite their feminine, to make their feminine feel jealous and sad and depressed, and it's backfired. Now that masculine is sad, depressed, and lonely, and the very same pain, get this, the very same pain that the masculine tried to inflict on those feminines, they now in return are feeling times 100-fold. Whatever your enemy does to you, God said, we will double. Any masculine who has tried to hide what they're doing, it is going to be exposed, okay? It is going to be exposed. And what I'm getting is that, you know, you can run all you want, but you cannot hide, okay? You cannot hide. So there's going to be I see here a huge shock for the masculine. A lot of masculines are going to be very shocked because they're not going to see this coming. And when they realize that the feminine is spiritually protected and that everything they tried to get people to do to the feminine, also before the heat caught my phone, the message I got was about stalking. Okay, there's a lot of masculines who've been stalking their feminine. There's been a lot of masculines who have been stalking their feminine. And there's been a lot of masculines who've been trying to juggle multiple people while they're watching the feminine. And you're gonna fall. You're gonna get blocked. There's gonna be a situation now for those masculines where they're gonna go look up the person's name or look up the link or whatever, and it's not going to go through. Okay, divine intervention is going to block those masculines from being able to watch the feminine while all the while not doing anything. And there's even some masculines who have been touching themselves to pictures of the feminine while the feminine is dating with somebody else and trying to trying to intervene with the feminine's relationship, since the masculine has broke the feminine's heart, has disrespected the feminine, has betrayed the feminine. So it's a situation now where, you know, the masculine, I feel truthfully, has dug their own grave. The masculine has dug their own grave, and there's nothing that anybody can do. This is their final warning. God's grace has been plentiful, but there is that hammer moment where now it's like it's too late, you know, and there's so much built up. There's so much scary stuff that has happened since the feminine has ignored all the drama and has focused on his or herself. And the feminine energy is like, now, you know what? I need to be better for me. I need to improve my life for me. I need, you know, what am I doing? And a lot of feminines are gonna get in this energy where they're like, what am I doing? You know, I need to better myself. And at that point, the focus is no longer going to be on what left, what hurt, what, you know, they had to let go. It's going to be on their future, their present, and their future. So, you know, I don't feel bad for any divine masculine that's going to fall sick, or that's going to get their karma finally, or if it's going to get found out finally. In fact, I'm happy about it, because God has finally spoke on this topic again and has told me to tell these masculines and these feminines that, you know what? All the pain you went through was not invisible. God saw every betrayal. God heard every lie. God saw it all. God saw it all. So do not be deceived. Do not be marked. Do not think that, you know, repercussions of actions do not happen even in these kind of connections, because it does. So that's what I need to say today, is that there's going to literally be sickness and even loss of health for some masculines because of all the evil doing, and the people, the accomplices, the people that have helped the masculine to try to sabotage the feminine. They are going to be in a very, very bad situation, and it even could be somebody passing away. You know, and that's what I'm getting for a lot of these masculines out here that have been, you know, entertaining separation, have been denying their true self, have not been in alignment. And to keep in mind, they've done it to themselves. Okay, this is not like somebody outside, you know, wanting to attack them. They have inflicted this upon themselves. They have done this to themselves. Okay, so the feminines need to take their hands off the situation. Like, it's at this point now where you need to take your hands off the situation and let God handle it. Let God intervene. Let God does what God does, because at that point, if there is no repercussions, if there is nothing that is going to differentiate good from wrong, bad from evil, then what's going to happen is it's going to continue. Is going to continue. So at this point in time, the feminine needs to focus on themselves. Of course, if the feminine has kids of his or her own, you need to focus on that as well. If you do have kids, if you don't have kids, you need to focus on your own well-being. But at this point, you know, I'm hearing addiction, right? If your masculine is heavily addicted to porn, to sex, to drugs, to alcohol, to substances, to even food, you know, morbidly obese, or, you know, binge eating, anorexia, whatever the situation is, or lack of food, you know, that is what they're getting, because They don't want to listen, you know? They don't want to obey God. They don't want to respect you. They want to turn their backs on people who love them. So at this point, it's free range. It's free range. And they just want you to know that, okay? So you feminines, you just need to know that it's time now. It's time. It's especially it's Aries season when I'm making this video. Like it's a war zone. It's a battle. It's a situation now where whatever needs to happen needs to happen. And the energy that the feminine was using to protect the masculine is not happening anymore. Okay, it's not happening anymore. So what the feminine that's listening to me needs to understand is that the masculine, these are the masculines who've chosen. Okay, they've chosen that life. They've chosen to disrespect you. They've chosen to disrespect people who have come before them and try to help them. They've disrespected a lot of people. So at this point, it's like, okay, if they want to go into a deep dark portal hole of addiction and sadness and depression, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing that the feminine can do at that point, because the feminine needs to preserve their own energy, their own awareness for their own family, for their own life. And so as soon as the feminine takes the focus away from the masculine is when the masculine wakes up. Sadly, that's when the masculine tends to wake up and realizes that, oh my God, you know, I'm in trouble. I'm in some deep ish. And there could be a transference where the feminine is also feeling the exact same way, but there is some kind of oh my God moment, you know, some kind of oh my God realization, like, you know, this is happening. This is really happening. And it's time to wake up. It's time to get busy. So for those masculines who are, you know, aware of it, still in denial, and they're choosing the wrong path in life, that's what they have sown. So ultimately, that is what they will reap. And, you know, a lot of feminines are not going to feel bad, and they don't feel bad now, but they're really not going to feel bad when there's some kind of hard lock. Okay, feminine. So I'm going to get off here because it's really hot. I got to go do this meeting, but I just want to say to you feminines, do not fear, okay? You've done your best at this point. What God wants you to focus on is yourself. And especially if you have kids and you have, you know, anything family related, you have to focus on that, okay? So sadly for certain masculines, you know, they've just messed up too bad, where the fact is, you know, God's grace is sufficient, but it's a situation where God also has another side. The universe, I should say, also has another side where they're not going to tolerate something without a consequence, okay? So grace and consequence is two different things. Grace and consequence are two different things, okay? So it is going to be a situation now where that's what's going to happen, is they're getting the consequence for their actions. You know, the grace is when there's a period of time where there is no hurt. They don't feel the pain necessarily. They don't feel like they've done anybody wrong. They're not really corrected. They're not really aware. And then once that grace, that veil is taken off, is when the consequences begin and things capitulate, okay? So don't be surprised if, you know, you do catch a masculine out somewhere and they look like they're, you know, carrying some kind of STD, or, you know, they're drawn out and they're looking unhealthy. It's because it's catching up to them. You know, everything that they've been doing is catching up, and that's what you're gonna see. So for some reason, I have been, you know, this is the download. I guess I'm the messenger of this message today. It's a serious message. It is a message, a download that I've gotten today. And, you know, it's just a situation, like I heard, where the chickens are going to come home to roost, okay? And there's just nothing that the masculine can really do about it. You know, whatever needs to be corrected, whatever needs to be exposed is going to, and the feminine just needs to kind of stay on their own P's and Q's and, you know, really just mind their own business in a way, and just let God handle it. You know, it's a situation now where you have to just let God handle it. You know, you can't do it all by yourself. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to begin with. And just be aware that, you know, better days are coming for the feminine, better days are ahead. But at the same time, you have to realize that whatever the masculine has chosen to do outside of you, to reject you, to disappoint you, to hurt you, is gonna be stored up as a consequence, as karma, as what you do to others will be done unto you, you know. And that's what's happening. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I love you all. I will see you on the next video. I gotta go. I hope you all stay well and healthy.